Bill mentioned that I was fortunate to wed into their household since I hailed from a modest upbringing. So I shared captures of him attempting to charm me prior to my wedding in the relatives chat group. And now his bride-to-be has abandoned him after discovering images of me stored on his device. Bill insisted I was fortunate to join the family and wouldn't secure anyone superior. Thus, I retrieved evidence of his earlier flirtations with me before I tied the knot and uploaded it to the family messaging thread amid the household meal. And presently he is enraged because I have demolished his betrothal and his bond with his sibling, implying I'm the culprit for failing to grasp the household dynamics. Otherwise, I would have valued his light-hearted demeanor. Yesterday evening, our kin assembly escalated into a colossal dispute, and matters became exceedingly heated. You see, it commenced as a typical household supper, an event we partake in quite frequently. However, this occasion carried a unique vibe because my spouse's brother, Richard, was arriving with his intended. To provide some context, Richard resides in a distant locale. He dwells in another city, and owing to his demanding career and individual commitments, he seldom comes home. We infrequently encounter him, so each time he returns, it signifies a major event for my parents-in-law who long for him greatly. Yet this visit held additional cause for intrigue and anticipation. He had lately become betrothed to a lady none of us had encountered previously. The betrothal unfolded remarkably swiftly. Richard had dated this lady for merely 3 months before popping the question. That stunned us all. We were taken aback, perhaps somewhat doubtful, simply due to the rapid pace. But as we hadn't met her yet, we aimed to remain open-hearted. This supper would serve as our initial opportunity to at last observe her identity, acquaint ourselves with her, and embrace her into the kin. We were all enthusiastic, possibly a tad anxious, but generally hopeful for positive outcomes. Prior to delving into the supper events, there's a crucial detail about my spouse's brother, Richard, that I must disclose. This isn't simple to discuss, but it significantly influenced the unfolding. In earlier times, Richard nurtured an unhealthy fixation on me. When I initially joined this household, my Bill rendered me uneasy in manners I struggled to manage. He persistently remarked on my appearance covertly from my spouse, claiming I was excessively stunning to commit to him. Initially, I presumed he was merely cordial or uttering foolish, clumsy quips. I didn't regard it gravely and figured he was attempting kindness in his unique style. But over time, his actions grew more insistent, revealing his fascination wasn't mere passing interest. His praises intensified, he devoted excessive focus to me, and his speech carried an unsettling tone. What I initially deemed innocent banter began resembling an obsession. He monitored my online profiles, tracking me beyond normal bounds. I discerned this when he casually referenced details he couldn't know without scrutinizing my digital presence. For instance, in talks, he'd abruptly note, "Oh, is that the outfit you recently acquired from the shopping center you went to with your sibling?" Or, "Wow, your complexion radiates post that beauty treatment you scheduled." These weren't shared with him. He must have sifted through my updates and likely my location marks to gather such specifics. It unnerved me profoundly. It evoked constant surveillance, even in his absence. Thus, I eventually chose to restrict him from my online accounts. I sought to bar his entry to my existence. Yet post-restriction, he remained overly intrigued during encounters, heightening my discomfort in shared spaces. Despite this, I withheld details from my spouse. Why? It's a delicate family matter. Years prior, an incident nearly shattered my spouse and Richard. Richard had been intimate with one of my spouse's former partners, and upon discovery, it sparked a massive confrontation. From accounts, the clash was so severe that my mother-in-law and father-in-law intervened, nearly fracturing the kin. My spouse was devastated by his brother's disloyalty. Given that backdrop, I felt cornered. Revealing Richard's conduct toward me risked reopening scars, fearing emotional toll on my spouse. So I remained silent, evading Richard where possible, yet the unease persisted. With the supper approaching, facing him again concerned me. Ultimately, the rift between my spouse and Richard mended. Richard apologized repeatedly for his actions, vowing to sever links with my spouse's ex. That resolved the issue. Though my spouse forgave, he confided it required time to rebuild faith in Richard. It wasn't instantaneous healing. Externally, the kin appears united. They harmonize well with no traces of prior conflict. But aware of history, I avoided igniting another major clash. Hence, I concealed Richard's impropriety toward me. I believed restriction and distance would suffice. Largely, it did. Upon realizing online inaccessibility, he ceased odd remarks. His relocation for work further simplified avoidance. Distance eased the matter, but visits retained awkwardness. He sought prolonged embraces, lingering uncomfortably. It exceeded normal sibling-in-law affection. He extended it, creating tension. I'd catch him gazing at my figure inappropriately, evoking revulsion and alertness. Subtle yet evident, making me recoil. Oddest was his pattern of gifting me bathing attire. I never comprehended why. I hadn't expressed need, and it was unfit from a brother-in-law to his sibling's spouse. It seemed boundary testing. Each instance amplified unease, yet I stayed mute. I sought to prevent kin turmoil, persuading myself distance would prevent escalation. Now onto the supper. Richard entered with his bride-to-be, and we all extended warm welcomes. She appeared truly kind, courteous, and amiable. My parents-in-law were elated to meet the lady who had, in their view, secured Richard. Considering his past of avoiding commitment, immersed in career or casual affairs, this betrothal was monumental. During the meal, all engaged in dialogue, querying the pair. Meeting story, nuptial plans, proposal details. Typical thrill of integrating a newcomer. I contributed little, merely observing and listening. Fascinating as it was our premiere with her. Then, abruptly, Richard addressed me. His tone pierced the chatter, inquiring, "What's your opinion of my bride-to-be? Isn't she far more attractive than you?" I was stunned. I paused, surprised as what prompted such phrasing. Why target me? Indeed, his intended was lovely, no dispute, but the delivery felt amiss, not standard. It seemed deliberate, aiming for response. I maintained composure, nodding, replying vaguely, "Yes, she's certainly attractive." Before further thought, Richard boomed a jest. I ensured securing a lady surpassing my sibling's spouse in beauty, then chuckled as if hilarious. Ere my response, my spouse interjected, tone steady yet resolute. "Dismissing my wife as merely attractive is demeaning," he stated. "She embodies far more." Richard snorted, displeased with the retort. He redirected to me, smirking, "You're incredibly fortunate to have encountered my brother and entered this household. You'd never achieve superior." His statement struck harshly. My insides nodded, yet I held neutrality. I refused easy provocation. Calmly, I queried, "What exactly do you imply?" Unhesitatingly, Richard grinned, "Well, given your origins and impoverished kin, odds were high you'd pair with some failure and endure a wretched existence presently." My breath halted, the nerve, the conceit. He had vaulted boundaries, my roots, my upbringing, none diminished my value. To declare, amid all, that marrying into his kin rescued me? Repulsive. Moments of hush enveloped the table. Tension palpable, my spouse's hold on my hand intensified, his rage evident though unspoken. Parents-in-law fidgeted, recognizing excess. My spouse and I gazed at him, astounded. His remarks weren't simply impolite, they were intentionally vicious. As if awaiting ideal humiliation timing. Indeed, I stem from economic hardship, but I've never felt shame. It's shaped me, not defined worth. Yet Richard weaponized it, portraying inferiority, to him his intended all present. Worst, he relished it. Visible in his smugness, slight lip curl awaiting reaction. Not mere rudeness, he sought degradation. Worse, framing it to elevate his bride, implying his choice superior from better stock. It persisted post-meal. Relaxing with beverages, groups divided, men and women conversing apart. I joined ladies, Richard's intended animatedly recounting proposal. She detailed romance, extravagance, her fortune in such a considerate partner. I listened courteously. Soon Richard approached, settling beside her, arm encircling as she concluded. Then unexpectedly to me, "Don't you envy such a proposal? I heard my brother proposed in a bookstore. How pitiful." I stared, processing. Insulting my spouse's proposal. Briefly, I absorbed, then inhaled deeply, replying evenly, "I adore that my spouse proposed in a library, our initial meeting spot. Grandeur mattered not, what counted was his love compelling marriage. Truth, flashy gestures unnecessary. My spouse understood intimacy trumped spectacle. Richard mocking it for lacking opulence was absurd. But he continued, smirking, reveling, "Oh, come on. If my brother truly desired, he'd have orchestrated grander. But not all master treating ladies like I do." He beamed arrogantly, kissing his intended demonstratively. Fury surged. Beyond rudeness, he demeaned my marriage, my spouse. Infuriating, I resolved silence ended, years tolerating his repulsiveness, his gall to address thus. Insult, degrade, deem me inferior? 4 drinks in, tolerance vanished, Richard overstepped immensely. I acted on long-suppressed urge, retrieved my device. Years I'd preserved captures of every improper note Richard dispatched. Remarks, eerie life probes, uneasy sources from start. Saved not vindictively but instinctively, one day he'd exceed. Tonight was it. Unhesitatingly, I forwarded to kin chat. As devices chimed simultaneously, satisfaction chilled me. Gradually, attendees checked curiously. I eyed Richard. Color fled his face. Eyes bulged in terror, realizing my action. My spouse browsed, initial confusion yielding to sleaziness recognition. I faced Richard, voice resonant, recall dispatching these years back. You boasted treating women well. Does this qualify? Pursuing brother's spouse. Silence engulfed. All fixated on Richard. His intended viewing via cousin's device appeared devastated. Pallid scanning, parents-in-law horrified, my spouse seething, Richard agape mute, deer in headlights immobilized as truth dawned, exposed. No escape, for once he faced shame. My spouse to me bewildered rage. When did he send these? I resolved full disclosure, no rug sweeping. Publicly I detailed all. Behind spouse remarks deeming me too stunning for him. Online stalking, casual life detail drops unnaturally known. Visit unease, stares, improper gifts like swimwear, eventual block for relief. Speaking, spouse's jaw tightened, phone grip whitening knuckles. Parents-in-law stunned, shocked, disappointed. Intended near tears, uneasy. Richard roused, defensive, wait, those meant nothing, my usual female banter. Y'all know me, she's inflating minor issue. Nothing, spouse slammed device, thundering. Richard silence, just be quiet. Richard complied, arrogance evaporated. First time he seemed fearful. He knew better than provoking elder brother, especially thus. Parents-in-law vocalized. Richard, how repeat this? Mother-in-law trembled angrily. Brother's wife. No decency. Father-in-law terse, shook head, unbelievable, utterly shameful. Surprisingly, mother-in-law to me gently, sorry, dear, unaware of your distress, unacceptable. Her words unforeseen, valued. At least one comprehended wrongness, intended furious. Silent post-reading, but expression spoke. Fists balled, lips thin, glaring daggers. She refrained publicly, but coupled tension evident, unsweepable. Glad she now knew his true nature. Evening awkwardly concluded, speech scarce. Richard muted post-rebuke, intended avoided eye contact. Spouse stayed near, hand in mine. Honestly, zero regrets. Years discomforting, degrading, assuming impunity. Tonight, overpushed. I'd have silenced, but he persisted, now consequences. Post-event, spouse received lengthy, rambling missive from Richard. Victim playing intensely. Accused me of family-wide insult, spouse should side with him. Whined exaggeration, I'm true issue. Claimed agenda to fracture kin, merited private talk. Hilarious. Post inappropriateness, stalking, dinner humiliations, he victimized, I problematic, unbelievable. So Reddit AITA for unmasking my Bill's actions. Update one, hey all, thanks for comments, advice. Truly value insights, tips, critiques. Helpful, considered much. Firstly, brother-in-law never this crude prior. Flirty, discomforting, but never blatantly disrespectful that night. Seemed sole aim, demean me unknown twisted pleasure. At least now true self revealed, relieved openness. However, not all spouses kin support. Some cousins present contacted, deeming exposure excessive, his playful trait misinterpreted. Frustrating, excusing chronic misbehavior. Long-standing doesn't justify. Bill requires boundary lessons, respect. Update 2 returning with spouse feelings update as queried. Clarifying, he's not upset with me. Minimally. Some assumed defensiveness, but no, lengthy candid talk, he grasps prior silence comfort, regrets not noticing sooner. Vowed direct brother confrontation, declaring behavior intolerable. No more impropriety, disrespect. His backing relieves immensely, strengthens. Regarding brother-in-law, finished. Blocked, no future interaction. Defending cousins, ignored. Excusing him, blaming me, their choice. No energy convincing. Ultimately, spouse alignment, no more nonsense, relief. Update 3 2 weeks post last, assumed concluded. But shocking development days ago. Bill's ex-intended contacted. Initially uncertain. Social media number request, I anticipated defense or fight, but conversation revealed otherwise, left mute. Post-incident confrontation, initial denials, then phone search. Disturbing finds, saved 30 plus my images, blocked yet fake account stalked, screenshotting posts. Skin crawling, worse, notes app, ancient entry detailing me. Elaborated love, wish meeting me first, stomach churning, he desired brother's death to wed me. Disgusting, horrifying, years obsession depth unimaginable. Ex confronted, denials despite evidence. Ended engagement, sickened by true character. Pre-kin severance warned me as woman, duty if dangerous. Advise distance. He's not mere creep, potentially hazardous. Speechless. New discomfort, not this profundity. Glad blocked, ensuring maximum separation. Update 4 months since last, assumed resolved. Spouse severed Bill ties, peace reigned. But last night, terrifying shift. Suddenly Bill appeared doorstep, intoxicated, deranged. Late, unexpected, door pounding, unnerved. Spouse checked. They're slurring, unsteady. Spouse calm, depart demand. Bill refused, insisted apology, rectification. Ranted in-laws fury, misimpressions, acceptance, soul relief. Not amends, conscience ease, spouse firm leave. Escalation, yelling my name, door external demanding confrontation. Chills, aggressive, entitled, owed, spouse's limit. Exploded, immediate exit order, terrified physicality. Spouse enraged, Bill unstable, capability unknown. Phone 911 instantly. Police arrival, non-cooperation. Resisted removal, neighborhood spectacle. Restrained, departed but shaken. New cutoff correct, now unhinged realization. Unsure next.